I was packing for my first work trip in 2 years since D-Day 1. Same old duffel that's been in the closet since I came back from the work trip that nearly ended our marriage. He slipped a perfume into the side pocket, and that's when he found them. Condoms. One's AP never used, one's left from before. He froze. I froze. I watched the trust drain out of his face. I said they were old. They were. But it doesn't matter. I know exactly what that bag and those stupid foil squares mean to him. All the trust I've been trying to earn felt like it crumbled in his hand. I told him something I should have said before the last D-Day. I've felt unhappy for months. Not because I met someone or planned anything, but because I've been scared and guilty and stuck. I didn't even tell my therapist. I kept thinking it would pass, that bringing it up would confirm the worst story about me. So I buried it. Classic me. When he showed me the condoms, I started calling couples therapists. I needed something concrete between us. I wanted a plan because without one, we just throw pain at each other until there's nothing left. I told him I want to work through it. I do. I'll say it again. I want to work through it. He said he's in hell, can't focus at work or school, feels sick and embarrassed and betrayed. I believe him. I made that hell before, and I handed it back to him in a new package. It's not the same as cheating, but I can't pretend the impact is softer just because my intent was different. I get why he hears me talk about feeling unhappy and thinks I'm minimizing what he's going through, making it about my discomfort instead of his pain. He's at home while I'm on the road at the moment. I hate that he's a voice on my phone instead of a person I can hold while we figure this out. But I also know holding isn't enough. Transparency, therapy, cleaning every corner that even smells like secrecy, that's the work. That, and listening without defending. There's a message I sent that I need to own too. The way you treated me, and I understand your anger, broke something. Even if I tried, for love, I don't know if I could come back from some of the things we said to each other. And neither could you. I was throwing up at work from the stress. I can't live in fear every time your name lights up my screen, and you can't live in anger. On Saturday, I felt the last string snap. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything. I cry for what we had. That wasn't me giving up. It was me saying the cycle has to stop. I'm not using it as an exit ramp. It's a line in the sand. No more Cold Wars, no more 1 a.m. scorched earth texts, no more winning the fight instead of fixing the thing. I know I set this in motion years ago and just tripped a landmine we never dug up. The burden's on me to over-communicate, to bring the ugly early, to sit in his pain without rushing him to forgiveness so I can feel better. So here's where I am. I'll toss the bag, every pocket. I'll audit my life, devices, accounts, routines, whatever helps him feel safe. I'll keep calling until we're on a couples therapist calendar, and I'll go back to my individual therapist and tell the truth I avoided. If he wants me home now, I'll come home now. If he needs space, I'll give it and stay reachable. I won't ask him to downplay what he feels to make it easier on me. I don't want to lose us, and I don't want the version of us that pretends everything's fine until something explodes. I'm here. I'm not running. I'll do the unglamorous, repetitive work of rebuilding trust for as long as it takes and carry the heavier end for a while if that's what this costs. If he has anything left for us, I'll meet him there. If he doesn't, I'll accept it and still do the work on myself, because the person who hid from hard conversations is the same person who almost burned our house down once, and I'm done being her. Update. We've been living separately for over a year and the divorce was finalized recently. Writing that still breaks me apart. The affair was my choice, no caveats. I broke a promise and I hurt someone I loved. When the truth came out, I imploded. I hated myself, attempted self-harm when he made the decision to leave, and spent time in the hospital. I'm on medication now and weekly therapy, and I've stayed sober from the kinds of quick hits I used to chase. Attention, flirting, the little dopamine pellets that help me dodge real life. Our marriage wasn't perfect. We had hard patterns. There were moments I didn't feel safe, and there were ways I wasn't honest, with him or myself, about what those moments did to me. At the exact same time, he loved me through some of my darkest periods, including when I was depressed during COVID. Both things are true. Holding both is part of growing up for me. The marriage had harm and it had real love. I did try. There were emails, transparency tools, couples therapy appointments that he never attended. I even went no contact with the AP for the second time, handed over devices and accounts. I also kept bumping into my biggest defect. I wanted relief more than repair. I wanted his pain to move faster than it could. I got defensive when the shame flared. If you've lived this, you know. There's the event, and then there's the months of tiny choices that either build safety or corrode it. I wasn't consistent enough, early enough. Eventually, he left. I understand why. Since the separation, my life got quiet in a way I used to fear. I work, I meet my therapist, I take my meds, I go to a weekly group, I check in with a couple of safe people, I walk a lot. I've learned how to ride out shame without sprinting to fix the feeling. I've learned that making amends isn't a speech. It's behaving differently for a long time with no guarantee of outcome. I've learned how to tell the full truth even when it makes me look worse. And I've learned that grief has a schedule I don't control. A small thing that felt big happened this week. He and I were on the phone about a financial thing. I slid into old self-talk about messing up at work. I'm a big screw-up, blah, blah. He said, you might be a screw-up, but that means you're human. Humans screw up. It wasn't about the infidelity or us. It was just ordinary kindness. In the early months after D-Day, there was a lot of dehumanizing language, some of it from him, a lot of it from me at myself. Hearing that line now landed like hot water on cold hands. Comforting and also uncomfortable because I'm still learning how to tolerate compassion without twisting it into hope or permission. I'm not reading it as acceptance of what I did. I'm taking it as proof that he's fighting through his own mental health mess and choosing to be decent anyway. It mattered. I'm working on letting kindness in without making it a contract. I'm working on being trustworthy. I'm working on not narrating myself as a monster or a victim, but as a person who did a horrible thing and is capable of doing better, repeatedly, quietly. I'm working on nervous system stuff. When the panic hits, I breathe, I text my sponsor, I don't send the defensive paragraph. I'm learning that love without trust is not a marriage, and that someone can care about you and still choose themselves. I respect that he did. People ask about reconciliation. There isn't one. He's building a life that doesn't include me as a partner. I love him enough now to stop trying to wedge myself back in. My job isn't to prove I'm worthy of a second chance. My job is to become a person who won't torch intimacy to escape discomfort. If future me has a relationship, I want her to bring honesty in before it's urgent, to say I'm not okay before she's at the edge, to leave a relationship cleanly if it's not safe or workable, never through a side door. I regret what I did, and I also refuse to let regret be the only thing I am. I broke something sacred, and I'm still here, rebuilding character brick by brick. I'm not asking for forgiveness or advice. I'm just marking the milestone for myself. We are divorced, and I'm still choosing the boring, unsexy work of accountability. It's not dramatic, it's not romantic. It's the first honest promise I've kept to both of us in a long time.